Everyone, thank you all for coming. We have 4 council persons up here, and it's 8:30, so I'm going to head and start the redevelopment meeting. The Mayor Goodman is excused today as she's out of town, so the rest of us will move forward. The Redevelopment Agency meeting of November 7, 2012 was called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 under closed caption for our hearing impaired viewers. Please note some customers of Cox Communication who do not have cable box can view this meeting on digital 89.5. The Redevelopment Agency meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, can be viewed on the city's website at www.kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m. and also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. This building is protected by state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. If alarms should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exits at the back of the chambers out to the mezzanine. Proceed out the double doors to the terrace and down the back staircase. Once outside, assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First Street. Employees wearing safety vests or our city marshals will inform you when it's safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related to the items on the agenda, citizen participation, and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card, which you can complete and submit to the city clerk's office. Cards are available online in the clerk's office or at the rear of the chambers. If you do not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If there is anyone present today that has a need for hearing impaired equipment, please see the city clerk's staff. If you parked in a parking garage across the street and did not receive a validation ticket as you enter the chambers, please exit to your right and then see the security personnel at the entrance. Okay. Moving on to item number 3. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. The amount of any time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items. If anyone submitted a speaker card or wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name for the record, and we'll set the time at 1 minute. Anybody would like to speak during public comment? Okay, I see no one under public comment, so we'll move on to item number 4, for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular redevelopment agency meeting of October 17th, 2012. Councilwoman Tarkanian, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Please vote. Please post. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Agenda item number 5, RA 13-2012, discussion for possible action regarding the participation agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency and Take-Two Interactive Software, Inc. for providing furnishings, fixtures, equipment, and off-site related parking expenses grant not to exceed $600,000, which will support the hiring of 150 full-time employees for property located at 302 East Carson Avenue, Redevelopment Area, Ward number 3, Councilman Coffin, and this will be related to item number 65 on the regular agenda. Mr. Arndt, you have a presentation for us.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. Good morning. For the record, Bill Arndt, Director, Economic and Urban Development. With me today is David Ismailer, the Chief Operating Officer for 2K Games at Take-Two Interactive. I'm going to outline this exciting opportunity for the City of Las Vegas and downtown, explain what we're doing at the city as well as at the state level to help attract this company to relocate to Las Vegas, and then explain why it's significant for the city and the community. So I'm going to run through briefly a little bit about the industry, because it's a dynamic industry. It changes a lot, and you read a lot about what's happening in the video game industry and the interactive games, and it's changed a lot, but we have one of the leading companies in that industry looking to do business in the city, explain a little bit about the company, the commitment they're looking to make to the city of Las Vegas, explain some of the incentives that we're offering to complement the things we already have in the community, like an able-bodied, talented workforce, which is competitive and low cost, as well as the incentives and tax climate, and then finally talk about the economic impact of the operations. A little bit about the industry and why it's important to both Las Vegas as well as the state. We do have a regional economic development strategy that is underway, supporting the state's plan for economic development and diversification, and one of the industries that we're pursuing is business IT ecosystems, and we believe this business fits nicely into that cluster. The IT sector today already provides over 9,500 full-time jobs in the Las Vegas Valley. It sounds like maybe a small number, but in a labor force of about 800,000, that is significant. And some of those jobs aren't always obvious, and we do have the video game industry already in Las Vegas. Petroglyph Games, which was founded by the Westwood Studios Group, is probably the most notable firm, but there are firms that are also in the market that are like this, that have the talent that companies like Take-Two need to be successful. Firms like IGT and Bally Technologies, where there's a wealth of talent already in our community, they're just not in maybe the industry sectors that you'd see in other communities. They happen to be in the hospitality industry and other industries like that. So we do have the talent to be competitive to make opportunities like Take-Two work. You may read some of the press about not just Take-Two, but about their industry, and you may read about some of the challenges of the industry, that it is cyclical. There are ups and downs. Don't want to study this chart too long, but it just shows the growth of this industry relative to the S&P 1500, and it shows that it doesn't move lockstep and barrel. There are things unique to this industry where they do have highs and lows, but it is a growth industry. It's a $60 billion industry, and we believe we have a great partner in Take-Two, which has been growing, and it has been very successful, not just in the U.S., but globally. So there are some changes in the industry, but the company is competing. It is one of the most competitive companies in its industry. A little bit about the company in the background. It's headquartered in New York City. It has a market capitalization of just over $1 billion. It develops, markets, and publishes interactive entertainment, video games for consumers. So in that sense, it's much like not only a software company, but an entertainment company as well. Many recognizable product labels: Rockstar Games, 2K Sports, Grand Theft Auto. Most of their employees globally are involved with the design and production of the games, and so it does bring definitely a high caliber of employee to Las Vegas. They're looking to relocate their quality assurance testing facility from California to downtown. So what is the company committing to us? They're committing to making a 7-year commitment. They're looking at leasing 2 floors at 302 Carson Avenue. The company will have 100 full-time employees within the first 12 months of operations, 150 full-time employees within the first 24 months. The company expects to pay a median wage of $18 per hour in addition to health care and benefits, and they expect to make a significant capital investment both in FF&E at the office location, but in addition in equipment costs to run their business at this location. So what are we offering to make this possible? As you know, occasionally we have to offset the cost of doing business in downtown in an urban environment where things like structured parking and others cost more than in a suburban environment. So we are providing some incentives directly from the redevelopment agency. Part of it is cash and part of it is in kind. The cash portion for equipment is $247,200, which will be payable over the first 2 years of the lease. And then parking, we're providing 120 spaces at no cost over the duration of the lease. We're also providing overflow parking in the amount of 70 spaces. The company does have, during their production cycles for their games, the demand to hire additional employees for a seasonal period to make sure that the games are produced and released on time. So we wanted to make sure that we were accommodating to their parking needs, so we are going to be providing some additional overflow parking over the first 3 years of their operations. We also have an employment plan requirement for them to hire diverse hiring, both locals as well as minority, women, and disabled veterans. And as an incentive or an inducement to make that happen, we're offering an additional $60,000 if the company hits those goals. We worked very closely with the Governor's Office of Economic Development, and I'd definitely be remiss if I didn't thank Steve Hill and Justin McVeigh from the Governor's Office, who've been very helpful and instrumental in making sure we put forward a competitive package to make sure that the cost of operation for this business would be competitive with other locations in the southwestern United States, and we believe we did that. There's a Catalyst Fund grant which the city will be making on behalf of the company to the state in the amount of $600,000, which will offset operating costs. There's a modified business tax, also known as the payroll tax, abatement for a 4-year period valued at roughly $116,000. There's a sales tax abatement that is available based on the jobs and the investment they're making. This company doesn't purchase a lot of equipment, so we think that'll be minimal, but that is available to the company. There's a Train Employees Now grant, which allows up to $2,500 per employee tied to new hires. We expect that value to be as much as $275,000 based on the company's projection to hire 110 people locally. Some of the employees in the workforce may be relocating from California to Las Vegas, but as with any move, their company does expect to make many new hires here. These incentives are required to be approved by GOED. We do have Steve Hill, the Executive Director of GOED here, just being present in support of the project, but there is a process moving forward to approve the state incentives. We engaged John Restrepo, who's been a good partner with the city, to take a look at what is the significance of this impact, this location in Las Vegas, from having these workers in downtown. This table summarizes the benefits both from the output or the spending and the employment and the payroll associated with that employment. It shows that the labor compensation from direct, which is the employees that Take-Two will be employing, indirect, which are related to supply chain opportunities from other companies, and then induced benefits, the benefits associated with spending that the company and its employees make, that total labor compensation benefit, when you look at the direct and indirect jobs, of almost $15 million annually. That does include all the benefits that the company will be paying. They'll be paying a full benefit package with health care. So you see it's a significant impact, not just from the company, but from the spin-off spending that's going to happen in the local economy. So what this means is for every direct job that Take-Two brings to Las Vegas, an additional 0.72 jobs are expected to be generated in the Las Vegas economy. Again, a company doesn't operate in a vacuum. They have suppliers, they have a relationship with vendors, they spend money on restaurants, housing, shopping in the economy. So as that dollar gets recirculated in the economy, there's a spin-off benefit, and it's important to show that benefit. Some of the industries benefiting from the project based on their industry, we expect the software, employment services, real estate, food and beverage, certainly the real estate industry, construction, computer industry, manufacturing, medical offices, legal and accounting, and telecommunications as well. So these are some of the businesses and new business that could be generated as a result of the company locating here. I'd like to thank John for his work taking a look at this project. So in conclusion, what is happening with today's action? Today, the company is prepared to make a 7-year commitment to locate this facility in downtown. Their operation, once they hit peak employment, is expected to provide 150 full-time jobs. This participation agreement, which is the agreement that conveys our incentives to Take-Two, approval is needed to commit the agency's incentive. Again, part of it is cash, part of it is in kind with our parking, which we're providing. And the company's move is contingent on not only getting our incentives, but also the incentives from GOED. Final point, our incentives are really performance-based. A lot of economic development incentives around the country, the employer is given an upfront incentive for relocation. Certainly the company is making a big investment, not only over the life of its lease, but actually picking up and moving and relocating its facility to downtown. Just like to thank the entire team at Take-Two for working with us. We do have a performance-based incentive which is spread over the life of the agreement, so the company only receives the incentive as they continue operations at this location. And in closing, I'd like to thank the entire Take-Two team, Alex Blachowski, Seth Krause, Dan Emerson. They were a delight to work with. We're excited to have Take-Two in Las Vegas, in downtown. We think they're going to be a great partner for a long time to come. With that, I'd be glad to take any questions. And again, David Ismailer, representing Take-Two, is here. I invite David to just say a few remarks and be glad to take any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Arndt. Very good presentation. Looks like you want to say something. Go ahead and state your name for the record. And good to hear from you.
My name is David Ismailer. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of 2K, a wholly owned subsidiary label of Take-Two. Take-Two is a publicly traded company and a leading worldwide developer and marketer and publisher of interactive entertainment for console games, including Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii, computers and mobile devices, including smartphones and tablets. The company is widely known for creating some of the most commercially and critically successful titles in our industry, and we have over 2,300 employees in 16 countries. In addition to 2K, we publish titles under the 2K Games, 2K Sports, and 2K Play brands, and Take-Two also owns Rockstar Games, the publishing label. We would like to thank Mayor Goodman for the leadership and the council members for their consideration, as well as Bill, thank you, and his staff for working hard to facilitate this really important initiative for us, and the support and the continued growth and expansion of 2K in the Las Vegas community. We would also like to thank the Governor Sandoval and Stephen Hill, who is here with us. Throughout this process, we explored a variety of strategic geographic options for 2K, and thanks to your help, we have determined that Las Vegas offered the most benefits to our employees, population, and the long-term growth of our business. I was happy to answer any questions that you have.
Great, thank you very much. I know Mr. Hill and Mr. Restrepo are here. Did appreciate you being involved in this. Did either one of you want to make any comments, or you're welcome to come down?
Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Steve Hill. I'm the director of the Governor's Office of Economic Development. I certainly want to thank Take-Two for their commitment to Nevada and to the region. We really welcome the opportunity to have you here. And I want to say that Bill and his team were just a pleasure to work with. They did the heavy lifting on this. We were glad to be a part of it, but they've done a tremendous amount of work. Their entire staff has been very helpful for me and our office in our year of transition, and we look forward to working with you on deals in the future as well. So thanks very much. This is a great opportunity for Las Vegas. The project itself is terrific. We would celebrate 150 jobs coming to the Valley regardless of who is creating those jobs. When it's a company like Take-Two, we get an added benefit because their brand recognition brings light to Las Vegas. It points out the success that you have had in the work that you've done in the city and downtown, and it adds to the restructuring and the redevelopment of downtown Las Vegas. So we think this is a significant project in and of itself, but will also be a building block for the future as well. So thanks for all the work that you've done. Appreciate it.
Very good. Mr. Restrepo.
Good morning, City Council. John Restrepo with RCG Economics. Just to echo what Steve just said, you know, as an economist practicing here in Southern Nevada for the last 24 years and 30-plus years in that profession, I think we're finally seeing the beginning, the seeds, for all the hard work that Steve and his team is doing at GOED and with the Regional Development Authority as well, and that's how that's moving forward, to try and diversify the economy in a realistic way, and having the state being involved with its incentives, particularly on the training side and the Catalyst Fund and those sorts of things, really to me makes a lot of sense from a kind of practical economic standpoint. And I think this is a kind of thing, what I call relentless pragmatism in terms of economic development and how we're moving forward, that I think is really supported from just a simple regional economic standpoint. So I really appreciate you guys taking care, looking at this in a kind of objective fashion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any comments from the city council before I turn it over to Councilman Coffin? Anyone? Okay, Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. David, we're pleased to have you here, and I know that we're going to be doing this in the regular council meeting as well. I think we have the votes to pass it, David.
Great.
I'm going to say that you're very welcome, and we want you to be here as a leader in the people flocking to the Las Vegas area, because your coming is more than an economic boost. It is I think in your community, word of mouth counts for as much as anything. Referrals, your impressions of the area will help us bring more people here. And we appreciate you not asking an arm and a leg to move here, but rather a reasonable request met by our staff and the governor's staff. And I think that the signal will go out that we're friendly for this, but more importantly, it's really a good place to live and work. And the kids that want to come up from Southern California, they're only 3.5 hours from the beach if they time it right. So it isn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it's pretty darn hot here in the summer, so I can understand why it'd be quicker getting to the beach from here sometimes than it is from downtown LA to Santa Monica at the wrong time of day.
Yeah.
So I don't have much to add except to echo what Steve Hill said. I think Steve put some good compliments, and as you did, toward our staff. Bill Arndt and his team approached the mayor and I a couple of months ago, I think, to talk about this. I signed a confidentiality agreement that was thicker than any I'd ever signed before. It's a contest to try to keep your mouth shut when you're in politics. Thank you very much for coming, and you're very welcome here. And I know that it's going to benefit us in many ways that are not quantifiable today, but will be in the future. If you have anything further to add.
Thank you very much. We're very excited to be here, and the company's abuzz about our relocation to Las Vegas.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I believe that this is a true testament to the push of the City of Las Vegas municipal government to help diversify our economy. Far too long we have talked about bringing in additional markets to basically play in the Las Vegas market to help diversify and bring about a different opportunities for our community. We've been what is some have called the one-horse town for a very long time, and we all know now that when the economy is bad, things are bad for all residents throughout the state of Nevada. And having an opportunity to now have such a the technology that you're bringing into Las Vegas is very important, and most importantly, to have it in our downtown community where economic development is thriving, where other parts of the valley is not growing. Our downtown Las Vegas continues to grow, and it has a lot to do with the push from this mayor and council, and also our professional staff from our Economic and Urban Development Office, you know, of course, being led by our very own Bill Arndt and his entire team. The governor's initiative, as Mr. Hill mentioned, is something that I'm very proud of, and I'm very proud that our governor has basically taken on the task and pulling together all municipalities and counties to talk about how, in fact, we can bring economic development sense to the entire valley, regardless of who brings it in, how it all ties together to improve the entire state economy here in the state of Nevada. And so my hat goes off to the governor for leading that charge. And I believe we have a number of staff members here at the City of Las Vegas that sits apart or plays a very intricate role in that on those committees. And so I want to welcome you, number one, to the City of Las Vegas, but more importantly to the state of Nevada for helping us in moving our city to be more diversified when it comes to technology as well as economic development to increase the job opportunities for our residents to not only be educated here, but keep that human capital in state versus having to move our young people out of state in order to have solid technological jobs. Now they can have an opportunity, they will have an opportunity to remain here in the state through organizations and companies such as yours coming into the Las Vegas Valley. So much success to you, and thank you so very much for being before the council today to present such a great opportunity for the Las Vegas Valley.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Beers.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I had a requirement from my son to ask when Borderland 3 is going to be released. I know Borderland 2 just
That's
came out,
confidential.
but
Okay, very good. Councilman Coffin, do you have a motion?
I move for approval of item number 5.
Okay, we have a motion. Please vote. Please post. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations and
you.
welcome to downtown Las Vegas.
Thank you. Thank you
Very
very
nice.
much.
Okay, item number 6 on the redevelopment agenda, citizen participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the redevelopment agency. No subject may be acted upon by the redevelopment agency unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, come to the podium, give your name for the record, the amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. Anyone wishing to be heard, please come on up. State your name.
My name is Anthony Hardale, 123. So, David, I just want to say I'm glad the election is over. I'm sure we all are. 4 days in the mountain with me and the horses and the ranches and the real cowboys and the cattle and whatever. And I just got away from it all, and it's good to be back. But it didn't matter who became president. The main thing was that it's all over. And that's the real deal. You know, it got really messy. But I just want to say that I'm glad to see that we're back in session. And the mayor, is she going to be here today or what?
No.
Okay, well, you the mayor. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard under citizen participation? Okay, item number 7, agency member recognition. Comments made by individual agency members during this portion of the agenda will not be acted upon by the agency unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. Is there anyone on the redevelopment agency that would like to speak? Seeing none, the redevelopment agency meeting is adjourned. We'll take about a 10-minute break, and then we'll be right back. So thank you very much. Stay tuned.